What's good? What's good? Tell everybody, it's Sports Talk America! It's your boy, Jay Franchise, a.k.a. ThatDuke.com, a.k.a. the greatest, and I do mean the greatest sports analyst to ever bless the sports waves. Welcome to another Nothing But Sports show on Nbs Central Radio. Again, I'm Mr. Franchise. Tonight, we're doing it a little bit differently tonight. Shout out to my boy Justin. He won't be on tonight. However, I have these two outsiders that decided to bless us with their presence. Without further ado, the first outsider to my right is Mr. Ron Keel, aka the Certified Hater. What's good?
Yo, what's good, man? It's always good to be back on the Nbs Show. I'm Keel, the most consistent person on the Nbs brand. Make sure you tune into Nbs. Let's talk about it tomorrow. But I'm looking forward to tonight's show. And make sure you tune into the NFL Draft Special on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday.
I'm gonna change your name from Keel, the Certified Hater, to Keel, the Terrible Internet. And to my left, over here, I have a great friend of mine, multiple time NBS Central fantasy football champion, aka the Certified Ducker. X, the sports junkie. What's good, homie?
Okay. Enough of the nonsense. We got one guy proclaiming to be the greatest sports analyst ever. We got another guy sitting here saying he's the most consistent. I have done. How many shows I got lined up this week alone, Keo? Let's talk about that. Watch your mouth. Don't start that. I'm True X the Sports Junkie. I will be on tomorrow. But let's talk about it. On Thursday, we got the NFL Draft Special, baby, hosted by myself. Hopefully, Jay Franchise comes through. Hopefully, Keo comes through. Hopefully, Justin, the guy that hosts the every other week show, whatever show he's hosting. I don't even know. But I will be on today, tomorrow, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. And then, of course, me and Keel got some big news coming real soon. So I might be on Sunday, too. So, Keel, I think that makes me the most consistent. And Jasper, you're looking at the greatest sports analyst.
Yeah, you got a lot of catching up to do, buddy.
All right, man. Let's go ahead.
Appreciate y'all for having me. And let's get it popping.
All right, man. So let's go ahead and get it started. Tonight, we're going to talk a little NBA. Then we're going to dive into some NFL. But first, man, this past weekend, there was an awesome UFC event. UFC 263 is now in the books. Great loaded card, to my opinion. But what were your thoughts on UFC 261?
You want me to go first?
Go for it, Keel.
This event was probably one of the best events that I've seen in a while since the pandemic. I don't know. I think I hear somebody's background. I don't know who it is.
Of course, yours. I'm just playing. Go ahead.
No, it's not mine.
Nobody.
But I think this was one of the best events for quite some time since the pandemic. It wasn't just the actual card, but the main card. But I mean, the prelims were good also, man. Like everything was great, despite with all these matchups. Some of the matches actually ended quicker than I thought. Like the Shevchenko one, that one ended quickly. The other championship fight, which Naman Yunus or as you would call Thug Rose, ended quickly with Zhang Wei Li. Um, and I thought the Masvidal and Usman fight would go the distance, even with the Crude and Smith match ended quickly also. But even though it was actually a great event, it was good for the fighters to fight in front of the fans. I mean, the fans seeing a huge event like this, and stars were out. We seen Tom Brady there. We seen the number one most hated Jake Paul there at the event. Um, so it was a lot of it was a
Fix your
lot of
face.
it was huge. I definitely enjoyed it, and I'm looking forward to the next UFC event.
Who cares about Jake Paul?
Watch him,
Tell him to
Mike.
come box me.
Oh, don't do that. Don't do
I feel
that.
like all this stuff is set up. Tell him to come box me, man. Tell him to come
Don't
run with me.
disrespect Jake Paul.
No, I'm disrespecting him. I
Jake
can't
Paul,
stand him.
you welcome to come on our show anytime, brother.
Now I'll disrespect him.
Well,
I'm a disrespectful.
well, I ain't gonna do
I'm
that.
a disrespectful dude. He's a bum.
Well,
Anyway,
well, let me just say this, man. Good card, no doubt. But I do want to start off by saying my thoughts and prayers are with Chris Weidman, man. I remember seeing the Anderson Silva Chris Weidman fight, and ironically, since then, it's Weidman been having some terrible luck, man. And that was a devastating injury. So I want to say, man, speedy recovery. Thoughts and prayers are definitely with you, brother. And can't wait to see you back in the octagon. And if not in the octagon, still you had a tremendous career. So shout out to you, man. But I'm gonna start. Like y'all know, I'm not the biggest. Y'all two are the really experts when it comes to UFC. Jasper goes to the fights and gets the backstage passes and all that in Vegas. But I did watch the main event, Usman. Me and Keel talked about us briefly on Let's Talk About It, and we both thought it was going to go the distance, but man, Chad Johnson, Ocho Cinco is sick right now. But Usman, man, he's a problem, man. And nonetheless, he made me and Keel both picked him, but he showed that he's at a different level right now in his career. So shout out to him. Good card though, nonetheless.
so it was an awesome card in my opinion. Man, start to finish, it was star studded. The Weidman fight did shock me because I was like, dang man, that happened 8 years ago between him and Anderson Silva. Thug Rose shocked me, man. I thought Wang Lee was just going to be dominating females hands down, and she was going to move up and continue to dominate. And she was on some next level stuff. And Thug Rose figured it out. I mean, it was just a kick, but I mean, it's a damn good kick. Um, I gotta say, Shevchenko is one of a kind. I mean, she's probably going to dominate 125 for a very, 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 very long time. Unless one of these girls go pump some steroids and then figure it out. I mean, that's the only way. But and I feel like they're gonna set up a Nunes Shevchenko trilogy because they're the only two within from 125 to 145 that can really bang at each other and actually give each other a halfway decent fight. Um, the Usman and Street Jesus fight, I call him Street Jesus, but that's my dude. I actually had Usman winning this fight only because Usman just looks like the bigger, stronger fighter, and his right hand is something special, man. When he land that right, if he landed flush, I don't know. And Street Jesus went to sleep and he was smiling. I don't know. I've known people in my time that have gotten knocked out and look mad when they get knocked out. But this dude was smiling when he got knocked, like bomb, cheesing. I think Usman's the truth, man. And I don't look. Kobe Covington's probably gonna get his mouth wide shut again. There's no way Kobe's gonna beat this dude. I think the next best thing Usman could do is probably move up. If he cleans up the competition, it's just time to move on up. But I love 261. It set a very, very high bar for 2021. I hope Danny keeps up the great work, man, because him putting those cards together has been simply masterful, especially during the pandemic. And having the crowd out, that was awesome. That energy was just amazing. So shout out to the UFC, man. Chris Weidman, I hope you get better. I hope you recover strong. And hey man, Jake Paul, man, look, listen.
I'm about to ask you, I got a question about that real quick.
Listen, him and DC, he's gonna make money off of DC. DC's gonna probably wipe his head clean. But Jake Paul, man, I think you're a bum. I don't even know. Like you're you're a YouTube star. You're a YouTube star, right? Go record your YouTube videos in your backyard, and that's it. Like I don't want to see you in the UFC ring or boxing. I don't want to see that. That's boring.
Well, there's a rumor out there. I want to know what you think about this. I think it's not even a rumor. I think it's actually happened. He said that he wants to fight. He wants to box Usman, and Usman. Hold on.
I got the mortgage on Usman, but go ahead.
In a boxing match, I want to know from you guys: should Usman take the fight? Because Jake Paul said this will be his biggest payday ever if he fought Jake Paul. Would you take the fight?
No. He said his numbers, his numbers between him and Askren were bigger than most UFC events.
That's what he said.
No. And Dana disproved it. Dana was like, no, not even close. No. If this dude, man, no. He's just looking for a paycheck.
So what would it take for you to be like, man, let's do this for real? I mean, you compare it. I mean, I'm sitting here saying this. Do I think that he can go out and win a championship belt in boxing? No. But do I believe that he can fight? Absolutely, yes.
Bro, Ben Askren still ain't woke up from when Moskadov kneed him in his head.
But I hear average Joes like my man Jay Franchise and others.
I'm an average Joe. I'm an average Joe.
Saying
I'm an average Joe.
That they would be
this the franchise you talking about. Man, listen, I'll say it on the show. Look, if we get Jake Paul to come off an exclusive interview, I'ma say it. I'll whoop his tail.
Oh my God.
I'll say it. I'm 6'4", 250. What's up? What's up? You think he gonna do me like he did Nate Robinson and Ben Askren? Not even close, man.
Well, you disrespectful.
Extremely disrespectful. I'll take it.
Go ahead.
I'll eat it. So let's move along to the next topic. So we're gonna go into some NFL. So a couple players that have been rumored for trade bait has been Jimmy Garoppolo, Julio Jones, and others. So which player do you feel like can be traded during the draft or leading up to the draft? Keel?
It's definitely porn star Jimmy Garoppolo, in my opinion. I mean, all signs all signs is towards Jimmy Garoppolo right now. I don't believe that nonsense that Garoppolo is saying, based off of what Mike Shanahan said. Garoppolo basically got all his guaranteed money already, and you're gonna go behind and draft his successor, which most likely is gonna be Mac Jones, and I see him getting traded. If not, I just see Garoppolo finishing up his contract, or probably maybe Mac Jones learns from that Shanahan system. But more than likely, Garoppolo will get traded, man. I think he's gonna get traded. When it comes to Julio, especially the situation the Falcons are in, they're probably going to be greedy when it comes to Julio Jones because they ain't going to give him up like that compared to what teams got for Odell Beckham or what Arizona gave up to get DeAndre Hopkins. I think this is a completely different, and the Falcons they will apply pressure on any team who wants Julio Jones, and I do think Garoppolo is going to be the guy more likely to get traded between Julio and him.
Okay, so let me ask you this: where do you think Garoppolo is going to end up going?
If I'm a NFL GM or owner, if I'm the Chicago Bears, what's poppin', man? I don't care that I have Andy Dalton. I mean, he did a pretty good job as a backup for the Dallas Cowboys. But that's a different story. but the Chicago Bears are a lot of people are questioning what they were doing. They tried to offer the house to Seattle for Russell Wilson, giving two of their best defensive players 2 first-round draft picks in the future, including this year. And the Seahawks said no. So I'm pretty sure Andy Dalton is just a short-term project for them for right now, maybe for just the season. But if I'm Chicago, I'm saying, hey, what's up, man? I want Jimmy Garoppolo, or even New England, man. He got that chemistry with Belichick and Josh McDaniels. I think he could reunite in New England. Belichick always wanted him, but the way things are, the rumors are coming out right now, it looks like New England's trying to move up to get Justin Fields. But if I'm New England, I would pass on Justin Fields and focus on a different position in the draft and go after Jimmy Garoppolo, somebody that's familiar with that Belichick system and that already has chemistry with Josh McDaniels already. So I think that's where he would end up going.
Go ahead, True, because I could so like this whole entire topic all the way up.
Well, I'm telling you, I'm not opposed to what he's saying because I do think both guys are going to get traded. I think both guys, unfortunately, are going to get traded. I made the pitch on this very show last week that the 49ers should keep Jimmy Garoppolo. They were in the Super Bowl just 2 years ago. I mean, come on, man. I don't understand why they're so enamored to try to draft Mac Jones. I mean, but you know, at the end of the day, Kyle Shanahan has to make a decision and say, you know what, this is my team. I want that guy. I'm going to get that guy. I don't understand it, but that's what he wants. So I do think it's gonna happen. I do think he's gonna get traded, but all the smoke that you're hearing about Julio Jones getting traded is gonna happen. He's gonna get traded. I truly believe that. The Falcons are not winning anything this year. They need to rebuild that team. I know we're going to talk about draft picks. I have some surprises as far as the Falcons is concerned in the draft on who they're going to draft. You'll see that real soon, or you'll hear it on this show live. But I think they're going to trade Julio Jones. When you saw what Stephon Diggs did last year, moving from Minnesota to Buffalo and making that upgrade on that offense, other teams are going to look at that and say, man, we can get Julio Jones. And yeah, we may have to give up a good bit, but he could be that missing piece that could take us to the next level. When you think about, let's see, a team like Baltimore, maybe. I don't like that fit, but I know people are saying Baltimore. I personally don't like that fit. I don't think Julio Jones should want to go to Baltimore, but I'm hearing it out there. Indianapolis would be, I think, a really good fit for him. That could help Carson Wentz. You got somebody like T.Y. Hilton that could help him out. There's options out there. The Chargers, to me, are a team that could definitely use maybe Julio Jones because Keenan Allen stays getting hurt, and Mike Williams hasn't really panned out on what we thought he was going to be. So there's options out there. I think a team that should take a chance on him is a team that wants to take that next step. So I do think Julio Jones is going to get traded by draft night, if not right after draft night. So I'm going to say Julio Jones will be traded first, but I do think Keel is right. Jimmy Garoppolo will be traded as well.
Okay. Julio Jones is 32 years old. There is no team in their right mind that's gonna trade first or even second round picks for Julio Jones.
You crazy, dog.
No, they're not. Dude, he's a 32-year-old receiver. I get it. It's Julio. I get it. It's Julio. But nobody's bruh. Odell got multiple picks because he's young.
Fact.
Okay? Not Gilmore. Diggs is young. Yo, Julio might have 4 more years, 2 to 3 up there years left. But after that, that's it. I'll say this, and I'm gonna throw a team out there. I don't think it's gonna be any one of those teams y'all talking about. The team that I think should go after him and he would give a huge upgrade to is Tennessee. Think about that long and hard.
That's not bad.
Make him a number 2 and see how ugly that offense is going to be. And now you have to worry, are we going to line 8 people in the box? Or are we going to say, hey, line up 8 people in the box for Derrick Henry? Or are we going to say, hey, you know what, we need to cover Julio and A.J. Brown. Pick your poison. And that's 2 big receivers, not just like speed. They're big guys. I don't think Jimmy G should get traded. And I think if the Niners make that move, I think they should wait. I think if they're going to draft a QB, at least have the QB sit 1 year. They are torn right now between Jimmy G, not Jimmy G. They're torn between Mac Jones and Trey Lance right now. A lot of people are saying that Shanahan wants Mac Jones, upper management wants Trey Lance. I think it's going to come down to the last minute. And if you ask me, I think they're both busts, in my opinion. And I have my own I have my own reasoning and ideology behind it. I think the guy they should go after is Justin Fields, because Justin Fields is you can do so much more with him. And he's more battle tested than both of those quarterbacks put together. Another guy on trade that I could see easily getting traded because of cap reasons is Stephon Gilmore from New England. I think he's going to get packaged in a deal to move up. I'm hearing Carolina really wants to move back. Well, how about you package the 8+ Stephon Gilmore for this year's one, next year's one, and possibly a third? You win, because now Carolina, you could actually do something. Your defense is actually that's a huge upgrade. Number 1, and then number 2, you're not under pressure to make a major pick like that, and you still got Teddy Bridgewater, aka Mr. Dink and Dunk, on your team, who's not a bad quarterback. He just don't have no weapons. So, to me, if you're going to make a trade, like if you're Atlanta, don't ask for nobody's ones, because nobody's going to give you a 1 for 32-year-old Julio. I'm sorry. Go ahead, True.
Okay, let me ask you this. And I understand what you're saying about Julio being 32, definitely. Not giving up multiple first-round picks. But I will say this. A team like Green Bay, if you get Julio Jones and Devonta Adams, and if they have 2 receivers like that, that would be ridiculous. I would give up a number 1 Julio. And this is what I'll say about Julio. Yeah, you said what they gave up for Odell. The one thing about Julio, he's willing to block in the running game, and he's not a diva at all. He's going to come to work, be a professional. People, you don't ever hear teammates saying anything bad about Julio Jones. I think ideally that's the team I would say he needs to go to. Somebody like a Green Bay with Aaron Rodgers, and we're gonna talk about Aaron Rodgers in a few. But I do think I would give up a first for Julio Jones if I'm a team like Green Bay that has a chance to win a Super Bowl, especially if they land Julio Jones. I would give up that one. Now, if it's a team like, let's just say like Carolina, no, I'm not giving up. You have to rebuild that team. If it's a team that's young, I maybe not doing it, or or a team that probably not gonna win many games this year, then no. But for the most part, bro, if you can land Julio Jones, he could elevate your team from a good team to a great team if he's in the right system and the right situation.
I'm gonna throw one more team out there only because I like the fact that they're playing on turf, and it's Arizona.
But you already got D-Hop. You signed AJ Green in the offseason.
What's that mean?
Man, I don't know.
What's that mean?
Christian.
That's like taking trade the trade blocking trades and taking off the salary cap and Matt. I'm sorry.
I think they need to build up their defense a little bit more. So I wouldn't actually go after Julio Jones, in my opinion, for that particular team. They need to beef up that defense a little bit more. Not to say they're a bad defense, but I think they can definitely get an upgrade there and they can compete a little bit more. But yeah, if Julio Jones can go to a team like Green Bay or Seattle next to DK Metcalf or Tennessee, like you're saying, that's some really good situations that can truly elevate those teams. So I would definitely be open to those type of situations.
Go to Seattle. Russell Wilson ain't got no choice but to hush his mouth and tell Sierra chill.
So yeah, man, I would trade from certain teams though.
I get it. I'm just like, man. Now we bringing stuff up. DCMs need to hit us up, man. All right, let's move right along. So, this year the running backs, actually over the past couple of years, the running backs haven't gotten much love in the draft. This year there's two guys that are potential round one guys, definitely day one guys, and that's Travis Etienne out of Clemson and Najee Harris out of Alabama. So out of the two running backs, which one of the two running backs do you believe goes first? Go ahead, Keel.
I think Najee Harris is gonna want to go first, but I prefer Travis Etienne. I'm not an NFL owner, so don't give me that look. I'm saying if it was me, I would take Travis Etienne, but I just think based off of what I see from the draft right now and how their scouting goes right now, Najee Harris is gonna be drafted first in the draft. I like Etienne more. I just think he's more physical. He's more of a power runner. I think he could catch off of the backfield. He could block the ball. I just think Etienne's just more explosive and he could help a team more and be a starting running back compared to Najee Harris. I'm not too high on Najee Harris like that. I don't think he could be a starting running back. I think he'll probably be a backup running back, maybe a running back in third down situations. So if a team's going after Najee Harris, I think they would be making a huge mistake.
Yeah, I'll say this. I actually agree and disagree with Keel. What I agree with is I would definitely take Travis Etienne over Najee Harris. And I do think he's going to get drafted before Najee Harris. Shout out to Travis Etienne, Louisiana product. He left Louisiana and went to Clemson. Don't get me started. Don't get me started with
the next week out of me because I thought he was going to go to LSU.
Yeah, but LSU wanted, I think, to play defensive back or something like that. Crazy. But yeah, I think Travis Etienne, man. Let me tell you what my issue is with Alabama running backs, because they're really good at Alabama, really good. And outside of King Henry and Sean Alexander, and some people may say Mark Ingram, but to me, Mark Ingram's been good, but he hasn't lived up to expectations, in my opinion. Now, that's everybody has their own opinion. Has he been, a decent running back? Has he had some pretty good years? Yeah. But when I think about what Mark Ingram did at Alabama, and then coming to the NFL, you thought he would. I mean, I thought he was going to be really good. I thought Trent Richardson was going to be really good, and these guys haven't been what I would. And then your guy Eddie Lacy, are you kidding me? Another guy Johnson drafted in fantasy football, but I mean, you look at it like Kenyon Drake. Like I drafted him this year in fantasy football, and he really hasn't panned out. I just look at the Alabama running backs, and I say to myself, "Am I truly getting a guy that I think could be the every down back?" When you look at King Henry, he's just a different animal. That dude is like just a monster. You saw Mark Ingram standing next to him. He looked like a lineman next to a kicker. So King Henry is different. But the Alabama running backs haven't been great in the league to me. Outside of King Henry and Sean Alexander had that, a few good years. So I would go with Travis Etienne. I know you can't compare, obviously, one player to another, but when you just see it, it's like, man, do I really want to take a chance on an Alabama running back? Nah, I'm going to go Travis Etienne. And I like Travis Etienne's versatility, so I'm going with him.
Josh Jacobs wasn't so bad last year.
Josh Jacobs kind of was not as good as I thought. Like last year, he was good. He had his hit on missed games.
But they didn't run. Okay, so when I think about Alabama running backs, I think of them almost like tires, right? And some of them have, like King Henry, I didn't think he was going to be this good because they was running the everlasting, like Alabama will be up 45-3 and they still will be running him. And I'm thinking, this dude, he's not going to have any tread for his tires. Like, he's going to be tired. He's going to be done. Like, he's going to be broken down. And he wasn't. I don't know if he's drinking Fiji water or Dasani. I don't know what he's drinking. I don't know if he's drinking spring water, whatever. But to me, Najee Harris reminds me so much of Mark Ingram. So much of Mark Ingram. I think he's a third down back. I think he's a high-priced, glorified third down back. And that's where I think his ceiling is going to be. Whereas with Travis Etienne, I see him as a every down guy. I could see him running between the tackles. I could see him catching out the backfield. I like his ceiling. I think Travis Etienne could, depending on the team, and I think he's going to get drafted. This is just my opinion. If I'm the Pittsburgh Steelers, I'm looking at Travis Etienne because now I could run the football the way I want to, giving back to Steelers football. And this dude is durable. Whereas with Najee, I'm just like, I'm not impressed. I like him, but he's not like jumping off the charts, and he should be a first. No. The only reason why Najee's a first rounder is off the strength of one thing, Alabama. That's it. And the only Alabama receivers, offensive linemen, defensive linemen, and I can't even say linebackers. I'll say safeties have all been pretty decent. Outside of that, don't trust no quarterback from Alabama. I don't trust running backs unless your name is King Henry and you drink spring water and you cook your food in spring water. And that's it. I don't even trust. I kind of sort of. I like the wide receivers. Don't trust tight. Well, no, I don't trust tight ends either because OJ Howard is terrible.
Come on, man.
I'm gonna say.
Let me ask you this: when you think about Najee Harris, I know Keel is a big fan of this guy. How much higher do you think he is over Chuba Hubbard? Do you think if I can get Chuba Hubbard later on in the draft, I'll take him over Najee Harris?
I would too. Second, third, if I could get a skill guy, again, we've agreed that wide receiver class this year is loaded. And if you even like another offensive tackle, if you need an offensive tackle at that pick over Najee Harris, I take the old tackle.
I don't think Najee Harris should be a first-round pick. I'm going to go out and say it on here right now.
I don't think so either. I'll gladly agree with you, True.
But I wish the young man a million years of success, but I just don't think. Go ahead, Q. I'm sorry.
I think he's gonna go to it. I think he's a Kansas City Chief. He's like what Clyde Edwards-Helaire was. He's a third down guy. I mean, Helaire he eventually became a 3-down back, but I don't see him even being as good as Clyde Edwards-Helaire, to be honest.
Go ahead, Keel.
And with the thing with running backs right now, that lifespan don't last long. Like NFL owners, they're shying away to pay a running back unless your name is Alvin Kamara or Christian McCaffrey. And you see what happened to guys like Todd Gurley. You got Zeke Elliott declining. We've seen what happened. Look how fast Le'Veon Bell quickly dropped. Saquon Barkley getting through injuries back-to-back seasons. And you see the running backs in the draft from last year to this year. NFL owners are shying away from the draft. They're scared to pay these running backs in the NFL right now because the lifespan of a running back don't last that long compared to a quarterback. Like, look how long Tom Brady and Ben Roethlisberger, Drew Brees, who has been playing so far, compared to these running backs. And I think that's why the running back class for this season and last season has been weak compared to the wide receiver position in the draft class or the quarterback position in the draft class.
It's about as weak as your internet, but let's continue on.
Wow.
Shots fired, man. Shots fired, man. All right. So what first-round draft prospect has the potential of falling out the first round?
You want me to go first, Keel?
Go for it,
Yeah.
Keel.
Najee Harris. I'm hearing that a lot of people say he's going to go first round. I don't believe that. I don't believe Najee Harris is going first round. True. I don't even know if Travis Etienne's going to go first round. I know, you said day one. I can see where there's no running back that goes in the first round. I think both of them could drop out the first round. I think I even predicted that to you, Keel. I said no running back would go in the first round this year. Earlier this year, I think. So I'm gonna say both of them. I say there's no running back that's drafted in the first round this year.
I think if there's a player outside of the running backs that could fall outside of the first round, I'm gonna say I'm gonna say Micah Parsons. I think he'll still get drafted in the first round, but as we get closer to the draft, his stock is slowly declining right now. I originally had him as a top 10 pick. I got him outside as in the top 15 pick right now.
Wow. Okay. That's interesting.
Very, 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 very interesting. So for me, and this is going to shock, I have two guys. So one guy is by the name of Jalen Phillips, the edge rusher out of Miami. He's had a lot of issues, like concussion-related issues and health issues, but if it wasn't for that, he's a top 10 guy easily. I feel like as it gets closer, his name is starting to drop because people are scared of the medical history. The second guy is a cornerback, and it's Asante Samuel Jr. Good corner, but I think that he's going to get overlooked, and he's going to be part of that group of second rounders that's going to make it very intriguing. I don't see him like I like it. I like his measurables, and he does cover very well. I don't see. I can see teams on the back end of the first round passing on him because they don't need corners. Some of those guys don't need corners, and if he's not drafted within like the first, I say 20 picks, he's not going to get picked.
Okay.
So those are my two guys. All right. So with the draft less than a couple days away, who's your sleeper? Who's your bust? And who's your rookie of the year?
Okay, I'll go first on that. So Keel, I'm trying to say I took his picks because Keel likes to steal my stuff. The sleeper is Terrence Marshall. He's either the best receiver or the number 2 receiver in this draft, in my opinion. I would take him over Devonta Smith, and I love Devonta Smith. I like the kid himself. I think he's just a humble, hungry kid, but I just like Terrence Marshall's size. He played well for LSU when he was playing this season. I know people are going to say I'm being biased. I'm really not. Like, I think the kid is just a stud. Nice size, nice hands, can run the routes, all the routes that you need him to run. Played in a pro-style offense when Joe Brady and company was there just 2 years ago. And he was the 3rd receiver, and he got separation. Now, that's the one concern people are saying because he played with Jamar Chase and Justin Jefferson that previous year. But last year, dude, I just put it out there last week. He had 10 touchdowns in 7 games. The dude is a monster. So I think he has
with scrub QBs.
Yeah, Miles Brennan wasn't what I thought he was going to be. So I'm going with him as my sleeper. What was the other question you asked? Who's the bust?
Who's the bust?
I hate to do this, man. I
love it. I can't wait. Go ahead.
Y'all about to get mad at me. I already know everybody's about to get mad. Justin Fields. He's not the guy everybody's hyping him up to be.
What?
I don't. Listen, this is what I'm going to say. I think Justin Fields is going to fall to the wrong team. And where you get drafted matters. Okay. One thing about Mac Jones, I can tell you, Jasper, I agree with you. When you said Mac Jones is not that guy, I agree. But one thing about Kyle Shanahan, he gets those quarterbacks to play above their level. And if whoever goes to San Francisco, to me, won't be a bust. Now, obviously, we're going to put out who our busts are after the draft because it matters where you get drafted. But for whatever reason, the top 3 teams, I think, are going to pass on Justin Fields. And unless Justin Fields falls to the right situation, I think he's going to end up being the bust. I know we're going to talk about it. I'm going to put it out there right now. I got Justin Fields going to Atlanta. I'm telling y'all right now, and I don't think that's the best fit for him. I know everybody's saying Kyle Pitts is going to be that pick. I just don't think if Atlanta trades Julio Jones, they're going to move on from Matt Ryan. They're going to have to revamp that team. And I just think Justin Fields, even though he's going to have Calvin Ridley, which is not a bad look, I just think that's not the best ideal situation for him. So I'm going to go Justin Fields today. Now, after the draft, I may change, but I'm not big on that pick. Who's going to win Rookie of the Year? Of course, it depends on where they fall. But for me, who's going to win Rookie of the Year? I'm going with Jamar Chase. I think the dude is a stud, man. I really do. And if he goes to the right situation, I think he's going to win. I will say this, and this is easy pick. I do think don't sleep on Trevor Lawrence. I know he's going to Jacksonville. People's going to say, oh, Jacksonville's not going to win many games. Listen to me. The kid is special. I truly believe that. And in Urban Meyer's system, I think he can flourish. So he can definitely win it, but I'm going with Jamar Chase. Keel?
I'm gonna go with my sleeper first. My sleeper that I have in this draft, I'm going with Kyle Trask. I think teams are starting to talk about him more now. I know the Saints were looking into him. I know who was that? The Bears were looking into him. I think as far as overall skill set, his mechanics, his progressions, I like Kyle Trask, man. I think he's a sleeper in the draft. If a team like New England could snatch him up, if they can't get Justin Fields, if Justin Fields is not available for them, because I know they're interested in him, I think Kyle Trask could be a really huge sleeper in the draft. Now, as far as a bust goes, that's easy for me, man. I don't give a damn what anybody says. It's Zach Wilson for me.
Wow.
Zach Wilson has Zach Wilson has bust potential written all over him, and like you guys said, is where you land, and where he lands is a horrible situation right now. You address you address one position. Do you realize how many holes you got on your offensive team? Not with the running backs, the wide receivers, the tight ends. Oh, your coach, your head coaching, your GM. That's a very huge problem. Also, when we talk about Zach Wilson, he threw his numbers were huge. I think he had 33 touchdowns this past season, but in 2019, his numbers drastically was really bad. I think he had around like I think he has as much as interceptions than touchdowns in 2019. And you look at the competition he went against. He went against um he went against a 2-10 Texas State team. He struggled against Coastal Carolina. Zach Wilson didn't show up against those games, those marquee competitive games. I know they didn't get much, but I see Zach Wilson has a bust potential written all over him. The one player that he reminds me of is Josh Rosen right now, and I think being in New York is going to be setting. And that being in New York is going to be setting him up for failure. And look, man, I understand the dude has a strong arm. A lot of people have a strong arm, man. But some players, quarterbacks, don't pan out well with having a strong arm. So I just think it's a horrible situation for Zach Wilson going to the New York Jets.
Who's going to win Rookie of the Year?
Rookie of the Year, I'm going with Trevor Lawrence as Rookie of the Year. I think Urban Meyer, with his offensive mindset and the system that he runs, I think he's going to transition from in college to the NFL level, and using the skill set of Trevor Lawrence and the wide receivers that they have there in Jacksonville. They ain't what they ain't what the wide receivers that they have in Pittsburgh, but there's some decent wide receivers, and I think Trevor Lawrence can make the best of it, and I think he'll put up some amazing numbers and will surprise a lot of people, just like my guy Justin Herbert from last year.
Okay. Go ahead, franchise. I know you're upset because I said Justin Fields is a bust.
Yeah, I am, and we'll dive into that. So my sleeper, I got two sleepers. I like Colin Hill. Colin Hill out of Texas A&M. They got him listed as a running back, but he was like a running back / wide receiver over at Texas A&M. The dude's got burners. He's got flat out burners, and whoever gets him, they're going to get a guy that's kind of similar. Like they're gonna use him kind of as like that scat back. They will use him in the slot. He's a multi-purpose type guy. And then I love Javonte Williams out of UNC. That dude runs violent. Like, yo, he's a second round guy that I believe if he went to the Pittsburgh Steelers, perfect fit. If he go wherever he goes, if he's in a system where it's a 2 running back system, he's going to be solid. If he's the main guy, he's going to be solid. That dude runs with purpose, and I love it. I absolutely, positively love it. In terms of my potential bust, I'm going with Mac Jones. I'm sorry, bro. Like, no, but I'm going to tell y'all why. And I had a shout out to Cole Picard. Shout out to Marlon Malcolm. Shout out to my boy Dan Brown. Shout out to all you football heads outside of these two outsiders up here who, believe in Mac Jones and all that.
Why? Don't do that. Don't do that, because I told you, it's not that I believe in him. I believe that Kyle Shanahan gets the most out of his quarterbacks.
That dude is a walking, talking bust. Between Mac Jones and Trey Lance, they're like, look, here's the problem. Mac Jones comes from a breed of QBs that don't have like he has had the greatest offensive lines. He's had two great receivers that are first round guys. Their defense is solid. There has been no level of adversity. So at the first sign of trouble, he's in trouble.
But look where he's going, though, Jasper.
You think San Francisco's good?
The Niners are not a bad team.
You think San Francisco's good?
Hold up. Niners just dealt with a lot of injuries last year. Don't fool yourself. That's a team that was just in the Super Bowl. So that's true. Not a bad team.
That's true. And I agree with that.
They're another team I think should look at Julio Jones. That would be nasty. I wouldn't give that third round for their third pick. But if they get Julio Jones, that's nasty. You got George Kittle. You got a good defense. Bosa's going to be back this year. I'm telling you, don't sleep on that pick. It doesn't matter who's the quarterback. Whoever goes to San Francisco, that's why I don't think they should give up on Jimmy Garoppolo. Because Kyle Shanahan, bro, he does something with those quarterbacks. He puts them in position to win. So
I agree. Yeah, I'm just not high on Mac Jones. There's no he's never dealt with pressure in the pocket. He's never had to deal with he's always had good receivers around him. If you had, and I'm not saying San Fran's got bums, but if you gave Mac Jones some cold bums, this dude's not gonna make anybody better.
You got Debo. I'm willing to say
I'm not saying that they're not. I'm not saying that they're bums. I think Debo is a very good wide receiver. Very good.
I'll say this though. I'll go as far as to say this, and you're about to lose. You might walk off the set if I tell you this.
I'm eating my oatmeal cream pie if you say something reckless.
Keel is a Mac Jones. Well, I'm gonna say in college he was a fan. I don't think he's much of a fan now. If the 49ers draft Mac Jones, now this is a lot of ifs, and they trade for Julio Jones, you ready for this? Mac Jones will win Rookie of the Year.
Fuck it out of here, man.
Hey,
get out of here.
Now, that's a lot of ifs. That's a lot.
He's got to go in the NFC West. Okay. Yo, in the NFC West, there are stars. Bro, you got to go against Seattle's defense. You got to play Arizona's defense. You got to, bro, no way. No way.
Listen to me. If they get Julio Jones, he knows Kyle Shanahan's system. Kyle Shanahan was in Atlanta just before he went to San Francisco. If he goes there and you got Debo, Julio, George Kittle, with that running game, because they can run the football on everybody.
If I'm Aaron Donald, I'm like, yo, pick him if you want to. Pick him. If I'm Aaron Donald, I'm like, pick Mac Jones if you want to. He can't run to save his life.
Okay.
I'm eating 4 or 5 sacks every time we play them.
Kyle Shanahan
every time.
Kyle Shanahan called me. Y'all, look, I'll be an intern for y'all. We'll get Julio on the phone. We'll get the Falcons on the phone. We'll get Julio in San Francisco. And you can draft Mac Jones. Like, I'm not even a Mac Jones fan, but I believe in you, Kyle Shanahan. So if you say he's the guy, I'm rolling with you, and we're going to get
him lost.
This
is why you're an outsider, because of that nonsense that came out your mouth.
And they got insiders, they got outsiders. We're the outsiders. Shout out to my man Keel, man.
Yo, man. So no, I'm not high on Mac Jones at all. I actually love Justin Fields way more. I think Mac Jones is a sitting duck in the pocket. And like I said, he hasn't played with anybody. Like, let me rephrase, hasn't played with anybody. He's played with glorified stars, like first-round dudes. And when was the last time an Alabama quarterback really balled out in the league?
I get it.
Joe Namath.
I get what you're saying. But this is
and then you talking about him or Trey Lance. Trey Lance ain't playing enough football. He hasn't played enough football. And we're going to overlook Justin Fields, who's battle-tested, the faster of them, and y'all just mad because he, in pressure situations, which I agree, he does throw the ball. He does get a little crazy.
Erratic, absolutely.
Extremely erratic. Extremely erratic.
If he goes to San Francisco, whoever goes to San Francisco is going to be in a great situation. They're not going to be a bust, in my opinion. That's a great situation.
I'm saying it. San Francisco gets Mac Jones, he's a bust. Aaron Jones. No, I'm sorry, not Aaron Jones. Aaron Donald. I know Seattle's defense is going to be eaten. And I know for a fact J.J. Watt, like, yo, do it if you want to. Go ahead and do it if you want to.
Okay.
Please.
Okay.
Please. Because we know we can get to Jimmy G. Now, we definitely going to get to Mac Jones.
Okay.
And then in terms of my rookie of the year, I'm going to shock you guys. And this is codependent upon where people go.
Absolutely.
I don't think it's Jamar Chase that wins Rookie of the Year.
Okay.
I don't think it's Devonta Smith that wins Rookie of the Year.
Don't do it. Don't do it. You better not say it. You better not say it.
What do you think I'm going to say?
You better not say Jalen Waddle.
I love him.
Oh, my God.
I think Jalen Waddle does win.
I knew he was going to say that.
Between him, Justin Fields, or Trevor. I mean, Trevor's probably going to win it because he's going to get the most time and he's probably going to have the better stats. But I like Waddle, man. I do. If he goes to a team like this is what I'm scared of. If Philly drafts a receiver like a Waddle, a Waddle, a Smith, or Jamar Chase, if one of those three go to that team, they're instant bust. Because there's no way they're going to be successful in Philly at all. Like, at all. Philly's cursed. Like, the NFL gave them that Super Bowl. Now they're cursed. I think Waddle has the best opportunity to go to, say, a Washington, even a Miami, especially Miami. If he goes to Miami, it's trouble.
Well, I'll say
it's
this.
trouble.
I got him going to Miami. I think they're going to draft him.
And I think he's going to flourish. I think he's going to flourish. I think you get drafted by Miami, you're going to flourish. I think if you go to, I hate to say this, but you go to Detroit, you might. If Detroit decides to go wide receiver, you're going to play very well. It just depends. You don't believe in Jared Goff? You don't believe in Jared Goff?
Not at all.
You don't believe? Okay, I don't believe in the fact that he did some things in the offseason that got him traded. Aside from that, he's a decent QB. Just got to protect him.
We'll see.
All right, we will. And by next year, this time, we're going to be like, Jay might be right.
We'll talk on the NFL draft special. Where after the draft special is over on day 3 or day 2, I'll tell you exactly who's going to win Rookie of the Year and who's going to be the bust after I see where you drafted.
Love it. All right. So we're going to go through our top 10 guys, starting with, we already know who's going to get drafted at 1. That's a given. Are we all in consensus about number 2? Okay. So let's start at number 3 with the Niners. Who are the Niners selecting with the 3rd pick?
Mac Jones.
Keel?
Mac Jones.
No way.
Not who you think. Not who you think they should take. Who are they taking?
They are going to take Trey Lance.
I can't.
They're going to take Trey Lance. I'm sorry.
Okay. Ford.
They're going to take Trey Lance. All right. Number 4 is Atlanta.
Justin Fields.
Keel?
They're drafting Kyle Pitts.
Oh,
I agree. Going Kyle Pitts too. They're going Kyle Pitts. They're definitely going Kyle Pitts.
Okay. I ain't mad at y'all.
Number 5, Cincinnati.
Jamar Chase. Yep.
Number 5, Cincinnati. I got them going Penei Sewell, the offensive lineman.
You done lost. Oh, okay. I like that. Good. True, I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. They got to protect their assets. They're going with Penei Sewell at 5. Number 6, Miami.
I got to think of Jalen Waddle. They want the speed. They want the speedster over there. They got Devontae Parker. They got Mike Gesicki. I think they want somebody that can blow the top off of the defense. So I'm going with Jalen Waddle. I think Devonta Smith's the better receiver, though, clearly.
Too small, but go ahead.
Number 6, I got Jamar Chase. Number 6.
If he's there, they definitely gonna take him.
If he's there, I think they go with Chase, but I have this funny feeling that Chase is gonna drop because he didn't play. He didn't play last year. He did not play last year. I have a funny feeling he drops. And I think Miami is going to take Devonta Smith.
Okay, so we all have a receiver. We just have a different receiver. Okay.
Right. Number 7. Denver selects.
The Lions select Devonta Smith.
Oh, Lions. I'm sorry. Wait. Number 7?
The Lions are number 7, huh?
No, Denver.
No, Lions are.
The Lions are
Lions. Okay, Lions. My fault.
I got to take Devonta Smith.
Okay.
I got them drafting Jalen Waddle.
Wow.
The Lions are going to select Devonta Smith. No, I'm sorry, Waddle.
I'm about to say, you just said Devonta
Waddle.
Smith.
And this is gonna
on your board, you telling me Jalen Waddle and Devonta Smith's gonna get drafted before Jamar Chase?
Look,
drug test him, Keel.
I'm gonna tell you why. He did not play last season.
I don't give a damn, Jasmine.
He's good.
You need to be drug tested.
Dog, I'm not saying he ain't good.
Let me see what's going on, because I don't know what the hell you talking
I'm not saying he's not good. I'm saying he did not play last year. Go ahead.
Number 8.
Number 8, Chicago.
Number 8 is not Chicago. I don't know what.
It's Carolina.
It's Carolina. What in the world?
I got Kyle Pitts going here. I think he's the one that kind of drops a little bit. But this is a great pick. If Carolina lands Kyle Pitts, if my board is correct, Carolina, I think, hits the lottery with this pick. This is a great look. I'm going Kyle Pitts right here.
Keel?
Number 8, I'm taking Devonta Smith.
Wow. That's not bad. That's a good pick for them, too. That system. Absolutely, that's a good pick in that system.
I just look at Joe Brady, offensive mindset. They brought in Sam Darnold looking to throw the ball. DJ Moore, add another explosive receiver. I think they're trying to run it with that spread offense like they did in LSU.
And they did lose Curtis Samuel. So
yeah,
sure did.
So that's the fact. I like that. The only thing is you got Robbie Anderson and you got DJ Moore. That's dicey to go get another receiver, I think.
I, with the 8th pick, think that Carolina is going to select Jamar Chase right here.
If he goes in Joe Brady's system, that's nasty. But he's not going to he's not dropping that.
If it happens, you know why. That's all I'm going to say. Number 9, Denver.
All right, this is where I got Penei Sewell from Oregon. I just think that I know a lot of people are saying, they're going to give up on Drew Lock. That's crazy to me. He's still too young to give up on. And I just think that Penei Sewell, no disrespect to him, I think he's a good offensive lineman, but his grade for me, and I was explaining this to, I think, Keel or Justin, one of them, his grade is not top 5 to me. So I can't see him going top 5. I think this is the perfect fit for him. Even right here, it's still a little reach for me, but I'm going Penei Sewell. I think they're going to shore up that offensive line for Drew Lock and company. They drafted those 2 receivers last season. So I'm going to go with Penei Sewell. Get that offensive line right.
Keel, please go. I can't wait for this one.
Are we at number 9?
Yeah,
Yes, sir.
Number 9, it's the Denver Broncos, and I am going with Trey Lance.
Wow.
It was a toss-up between Lance and Justin Fields. I just think that the Broncos are more intrigued with Lance, and I think they're going to draft him.
I think the Broncos will be way more intrigued with Fields over Lance, and I think Fields goes number 9 to Denver, which would be perfect because Denver has really good receivers, and I think what Denver could, I think this is an Elway pick. If they're gonna go quarterback, Elway's gonna make the call. And Elway's gonna be like, yo, I want the battle tested guy. I don't think Trey Lance is battle tested. I think Trey Lance is going to drop all the way down to New England.
Okay. And rounding out top number 10?
Number 10.
Keel's Cowboys. I'm going 8. I had 3 Alabama players in the top 10. This is the 4th one. I got Patrick Surtain, the 2nd.
I'm in agreement.
Got to get that defense right. Got to get them right. Dad played in the NFL. I think this is a good pick for the Cowboys. Sure.
I keep hearing if Kyle Pitts falls here.
Oh, that's a great pick if he falls. I just don't think he's going to fall that far down.
And if he does fall that far, Dallas should pick him up. But if he doesn't, definitely Patrick Surtain Jr.
Who you got, Keel? It's your team.
So it's funny that I got Kyle Pitts falling down. So was a toss-up between Surtain and Kyle Pitts.
You got Pitts going to Atlanta, fool.
No, I don't.
Yes, you did. You said Kyle Pitts to Atlanta.
Oh, okay. My bad. Sorry about that. All right.
He wants Kyle Pitts. That's what that is, y'all. He wants Kyle Pitts.
That dude wants to win games 45-40. That's terrible, man.
It's an easy one. It's Patrick Surtain, and it's funny though because last year they were able to draft Trayvon Diggs from Alabama. Yep. Now they get another cornerback, and I think it'll be a good for them, something that they need. So it's Surtain.
Yep, you're setting yourself up solid.
Let me ask you this: what team can you see trading up and trying to get in the top 10 to get somebody, or right outside the top 10? Who's the one team you think will trade up to get up somebody in this draft? Trade up a lot of spots to come up. I'll say mine. I think it's Pittsburgh, and I think they'll try to trade up for Trey Lance.
Oh,
I think it's New England.
Yeah.
Okay.
I have a funny feeling New England's going to trade up heavy. They're going to give us some heavy assets for the opportunity to either get. I think it boils down to this: if San Fran does not pick Mac Jones, New England trades up extremely quick. Like I think they're in talks right now because we know Atlanta's not going to do it. We know Atlanta's not picking a QB. We know Cincinnati's not choosing.
You don't.
I don't think they are. Right. So Cincinnati's not picking a QB. Miami's not drafting a QB. More than likely, Detroit's not drafting a QB. The next pick that you can see yourself drafting a QB, if you really wanted to, is Carolina. I see New England coming up to get their guy.
Okay.
If Mac Jones drops, New England gets him.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a team that I was looking into also. New England. New England is the biggest team that's in the news right now, a team that could possibly trade up to go after after going into the top 10. That's a team that I see.
Okay. There you have it.
All right. So, what are your thoughts? Moving right along. So, what are your thoughts on the new rule regarding positional players choosing whatever number they want?
I like it. I know a lot of people's gonna say that's crazy. It's just like the college rule, basically. Position players could choose 3, 1, 5. That's the same thing in college. Same thing. Odell Beckham wore number 3 in college. A defensive back like Patrick Peterson wore number 7. I mean, at the end of the day, I think that of course people are gonna have some, feel different because they're so used to the NFL rule. They're so used to seeing it one way, it's not that big of a deal. The only reason why they even have the rule really in place is because it's easy for the refs to see if there's a lineman down the field where he can throw a flag. That's the only reason why they even have the rule really in place. So when you have guys at wide receiver wearing a single digit or a cornerback wearing a single digit, I mean, that's not no big deal. I mean, it's football. We're really going to cry over somebody wearing a jersey number? Really? The quarterback still can only pick 1 through 19. The receivers now, besides picking at 80, all the 80 numbers, they can pick 1 through, I think, 19, I think, 2. I think it's something like that. Same thing with defensive backs. They have certain numbers that they can still pick. They just opened it up where you can pick a few more numbers. It is not the end of the world, people. Go ahead, Keel.
Yeah, I think people are making a big deal about this. That about the numbers, and it's just we're talking about a jersey number change here, folks. We're not talking about NFL rule change that's on the field. We're not talking about instant replay. We're not talking about uh penalties being changed. It's just a jersey number, and for me, I kind of like it because I'm a huge college football fan, and I like my favorite players watching college football. Like I like the numbers that they wear in college, like Derrick Henry when he was wearing number I think Derrick Henry was wearing number 2 down in Alabama. Like I like seeing that. I was like, oh yeah, I remember Derrick Henry from Alabama wearing number 2. Now he could wear number 2 down in with playing for Tennessee. Like and that's one thing that I do like about it though.
Go ahead.
I can't stand it.
I knew.
I think it's ridiculous. So it's 2-part, right? So number one, if I'm like a quarterback and I gotta identify defensive tackles, linebackers, and whatnot, you know how they do, like a red 55. Hey, watch the mic. Mike is this. Now I really gotta be like on it because linebackers usually are in like the 50s, give or take 50s and 40s and whatnot. Whereas now I gotta pay attention to all them damn numbers. This is crazy. That's one. Number two, merchandising. Yo, there's that's again when you got guys that are so used to playing. Like prime example, JJ Watt, 99. We know JJ Watt to wear 99 his whole career. If this Joker shows up and I see him wearing number 11, we got a problem.
Well, hold up. So I got the rule right here. Quarterbacks can wear 1 through 19. Defensive backs can wear 1 through 49. Running backs, fullbacks, tight ends, H backs, wide receivers. I don't have that one. I don't know why I don't have that one. But okay, I'm pretty sure it's the 80s. Well, maybe not 80s. I don't know. But the defensive lineman, I think it's 50 through 79 and 90 through 99. So I don't think the defensive lineman can change theirs.
Jasper, I wanted to add something that you said, and I don't agree on you when it comes to sports on a lot of things, but this one I do agree with you. You mentioned the merchandise. Like as a fan, like there's some players I don't want to see them change the number because, like, man, I've been supporting this player throughout since they've been in the NFL, and you got to change your number, and I got to re-support your New Jersey number, and so that's the one thing that I do understand, though.
Now watch this. If you you bought a Zeke jersey today, right? Like let's just say you bought a Zeke Elliott jersey because you're a Dallas fan, right?
Yeah.
And now Zeke decides, oh, I'm gonna change my number to number 1 or number 3.
Okay.
Now you can go buy a new jersey.
I'll make the counter argument to that. Kobe changed his number from 8 to 24.
Hold on, we talking about Kobe. We're not talking about the whole league. But Kobe but in the NBA you got you can choose any number you want.
Based on merchandise with y'all, that was the argument y'all made. Based on merchandise, at the end of the day, it's not that serious. It is not that serious. I mean, that to me anyway. And then if a person gets traded, yeah, you supported them, but if they get traded, there's a good chance their number's gonna change. And
no, that's why you pay off that's why you pay off the player that got your number, man.
That's one player that was against that was Stephon Diggs. He was like, dude, I can't change my number because all these fans been supporting me since I've been wearing 14 in Minnesota. So I can't do that.
Yeah, man, bro. Patrick Peterson.
That was against Kobe changing his number from 8 to 24. You gotta be You can't play the fence.
I'm not. What I'm saying, dude. First of all, let me put this out there, and I'm gonna tell everybody this, and I'm gonna be straight honest. At that time, I wasn't a Kobe fan, so I could have cared less. And you know that. You of all people know I was a Kobe hater.
Okay, LeBron. LeBron went from 23 to 6. He could have got 23.
Hold up. Who's the biggest? I am the biggest LeBron James hater in that.
Paul George, 24 to 13. I mean, it doesn't matter. It is not the end of the world, bro. It's a jersey number. Are you kidding me? We're really gonna sit there and waste time on a jersey number? Come on.
Yes. Yes.
The police is out. The police.
Yes. All right. Let's move right along through the show. What are your thoughts on Green Bay's general manager coming out and saying, "Hey, Aaron Rodgers is our guy for the foreseeable future"?
Why would he not say that? Why would he not say that? I don't even understand why this is a topic. The dude literally, man, where is that? I want to make sure. First of all, he's coming off of an MVP season. He's coming off of an MVP season. I want to get that right. Let me see. Oh, I don't have my other paperwork. I must have took it out. I don't know what I did with it. Hold up. Here it is. Hold on. I want to make sure I get this right. The dude is coming off an MVP season where he threw. And this is it. Let me find it. Let me get it together. 48 touchdowns and 5 interceptions. Are you kidding me? 48 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. He's the MVP. What are they supposed to say? No, you know what? We're going to move on from this guy. That doesn't make sense. Roll with Aaron Rodgers. Go get him Julio Jones. That offense would be, oh my God, next level with Julio Jones. Of course, y'all know I said Jordan Love to me was the biggest bust last year. If they move on from Aaron Rodgers right now to go to Jordan Love, man, everybody in Green Bay front office should be fired or get drug tested immediately. Whoever agrees with that move. This is not even a topic in my mind. Yes, Aaron Rodgers should be your quarterback for at least the next 3 to 4 seasons.
Keel, go ahead.
I think it's the biggest BS by the GM I ever heard. If he wanted to say something, he should have said that last year when they drafted Jordan Love. But all of a sudden, he wants to say that now because Aaron Rodgers looks like the NFL. He is the NFL MVP, and he played the best that we've seen him in quite some time. But I think he should have said that a long time ago. I'm going to say last year when they drafted Jordan Love, because that's when all that drama, speculation came around, and the relationship between Matt LaFleur. So I think to diffuse all this media talk and even this topic that we have. I think the GM should have said it last year in the draft when Jordan Love was drafted and say, "Hey, Aaron Rodgers is our guy." All of a sudden, he wants to say that now. But hey, I am kind of curious what Green Bay does in this draft. On Thursday. So let's see what the GM is gonna do, especially when Aaron Rodgers said, "Hey, we need some help on the offensive side."
I'm gonna agree with you on that, Keo. Here's my take on it. Aaron Rodgers is 37 years old. He'll be 38 December 2nd. He did not have a choice but to say what he said. He had zero choice. Because you're not gonna trade the MVP this year. You are coming into this year. But oh buddy, trust me. Next year, Aaron Rodgers is trade bait, bro. I'm putting it out there. 38 with a first round pick sitting in the wings. You think Green Bay not sitting there like we got 1, maybe 2 more years left out of Aaron Rodgers? If he don't play well, we trade him. Or if he does play well, and guess what? We could sell him to the highest bidder if he still wants to play. But my thing is, look, he had no choice but to say it. But at the same token, I'm like this. Father Time is undefeated. Aaron Rodgers is only going to give you at most 3 to 4 more years, good years, and then that contract number doesn't help Green Bay at all. If anything, it hurts them. It hurts them badly. So how do you continue to build your team? You're still gonna have to. You're gonna have to. If you decide to draft another wide receiver, if you decide to draft another running back, whatever the case may be, you're gonna have some cap situations, and it all revolves around Aaron Rodgers. So I'm saying this to say, and with the rookie on a rookie contract, get this year over with. You're probably gonna get to the NFC Championship game. You might run into Tampa. Tampa might blast you. If you can survive Tampa and get to the Super Bowl and win it, awesome. But the next offseason, this time next year, they will trade Aaron Rodgers. 38, the cap number, 38 with the cap number, and you got a first round pick on the bench in the wings. Even though I've heard rumors that Jordan Love is terrible, they're going to get their money's worth. Unless they decide, you know what? Screw it. We'll trade Jordan Love just like Miami traded him for a 7th round pick to some bum squad, and then they draft another QB to be Aaron Rodgers' heir apparent. That's the only way it's going to work.
I have a trade scenario right now that I'm willing to give up to the Atlanta Falcons if I'm the GM. If I'm the GM of and maybe it's because I'm not the Jordan Love guy, but there's some teams that like Jordan Love.
Okay.
I'm willing to give up my first round this year and Jordan Love for Julio Jones.
They won't take it.
Atlanta is in the. Listen to this. Atlanta has the 4th pick overall. They have the 4th pick. They can have the 29th pick, and you don't have to take Justin Fields now. You can say, "Oh, well, we got Jordan Love." I don't know what their draft grade was on him when the last year when he came out, but if they had a high draft grade on him, I give him a first round. Now they have 2 first rounds in the this year's draft. One's a top 5, and if you had a high draft grade on him,
I need more.
I'm willing to give up another first round pick.
Okay, I'm gonna counter you. I'm gonna counter your offer.
Okay.
All right. I like your deal, but add another first rounder and give me a 3rd and a 4th.
That's a lot.
I'm giving up Julio Jones.
Hold up. You're asking for 2 first rounders.
Yes.
A quarterback that you might have had a high rating on Jordan Love, because a lot of people said he had
he's a bench guy, but go ahead. He's a bench guy right now.
Okay, but I'm saying your grade on him last year was still, and he got mentored by Aaron Rodgers this past season.
Okay.
Got mentored. You're looking to rebuild.
What's the value to mentorship? That's free.
Okay,
keep going.
You're looking to build on top of those 2 first rounders and basically another first rounder, which is Jordan Love. You want me to give you a third and a fourth? I think that's a lot. That's a lot.
All right, give me a fourth and a fifth. That's light.
Nah, I think they're overpaying. Even if they, like, really, to be honest with you, giving up 2 first rounders
for Julio is too much.
With Jordan, because he's 32. But at the end of the day, I feel like if you put Julio Jones on the Green Bay Packers,
you know what, man? I feel like if you and I were sitting GM like a GM / like player personnel type, we would argue this all day, all night. I think we'd have to have Red Bulls on deck and then a treadmill on each side of the table. And just run this shit out. And just run it out.
To be honest with you, if I was the Packers GM, I'm not even going to lie to you. I'm not going to hold you. I would actually give you the third and fourth, but I would never tell you that.
I know you wouldn't. I know you wouldn't.
If I had Julio Jones, Devontae Adams, and Aaron Rodgers for the next 3 years, 4 years, I feel like we have a chance to win it all each of them years. So I would do it, but I don't know if they're willing to do that. But I would give up Jordan Love. Like you said, I've heard the same thing. He hasn't looked too great this past season. But if Atlanta has a high draft grade on him, and I think they're going to take Justin Fields. If you trade Julio Jones, what's the point of keeping Matt Ryan? There's no reason.
No point.
So, yeah, it's fun to talk about it, though.
Yeah, it's no point, but you're right. All right, let's go ahead and get into some NBA. Who is the most dangerous 7 to 10 seed in both the East and West?
I got to hear this, Keel.
The most from the Western Conference, it's a slam dunk for me. It's the Golden State Warriors. And I'm not being biased at all. Even though I am a Warriors fan, I am in the Bay Area. But you look the way Steph Curry is playing right now. Except for tonight, because they're getting blown out by the Dallas Mavericks. But you look the way Steph Curry's been playing right now compared to when he's not playing due to injury or rest. The Warriors look bad, but when he's playing, Golden State can't be beat. They've been beating the top teams, like playoff teams right now. And I think that will be very scary. When you talk about a 7 to 10 team, that's a team that I wouldn't play against. That I would be worried that gets into that playoff race. As far as the East goes, a team that's a dangerous team right now. The way they've been playing right now, I'm going with Washington. The way Bradley Beal, Russell Westbrook has been playing, man, it's crazy, man. These guys can't be stopped. They're relentless. They push the ball down the court. Russell Westbrook, he's about to break that triple double record once again, held by Oscar Robertson, and I just like the way Washington's been playing, led by Scott Brooks. They got a veteran, and they got also a young core with them also. So if you talk about 7 to 10 seed in the East, I think the Wizards are one of the most dangerous teams.
Okay. I do like both of his picks. I'll stay in the East for a second, and I'm with them on Washington. But another thing that we could point out is they're 2-0, I think, against Brooklyn. So if Brooklyn draws them in the first round, if they would get the 8th seed, that's not a good matchup. I would still pick Brooklyn, but it would be a tough out because this team, for whatever reason, matches up very well with Brooklyn. But I do think that they're a dangerous team as far as the East is concerned. I know people's going to say the Miami Heat because they were in the finals last year. Oladipo's banged up. If they get Oladipo back, I get all that. But I'm not sold. Okay, in the West, I disagree with you, man. And I know some people may say, "Oh, X, you bugging." It's Portland. Yes, they've been
X, you bugging.
Okay, hold up. They've been struggling. I will be the first one to say that. They have been struggling. But to be fair to them, their roster has been in and out the entire season. You have CJ McCollum missing time. Now he's back. You have Nurkic missing time. Now he's starting to get the feel of things. I think this is the type of team where you have other weapons outside of Damian Lillard. When you got McCollum healthy, you got Damian Lillard healthy, you got Nurkic healthy, you still got Enes Kanter. I'm not sitting here about to hype up Carmelo Anthony, but you have Carmelo Anthony who can hit some big shots. What I'm saying to you is this is a dangerous team, especially in the playoffs. If those games are close, let's say they give Phoenix or Utah in the first round, which that's what it's looking like they might happen. Man, Damian Lillard could take over a game. So what I'm saying to you is, if I'm Phoenix or Utah, who would I rather play? Golden State or Portland? Give me Golden State, man. Or it's Steph Curry. That's the guy. Steph Curry can get off and he can beat you 1 or 2 games. But I just don't think it's enough behind Steph Curry. Draymond's not enough of a scorer. Kelly Oubre's cool, but he's inconsistent. Wiggins, to me, he just hasn't reached the expectation that we all saw from him coming out of Kansas.
But he can score, though. He can get you a bucket.
He can. But I just look at Portland. Portland's been to the playoffs. Portland has gotten to the Western Conference Finals. Damian Lillard, CJ McCollum. I trust them more than I trust Steph Curry. It's not that I don't trust Steph Curry. But if Steph had Klay Thompson next to him, it would be a whole different ballgame. And Klay's not there. So I don't trust the other guys around Steph Curry like I do what's going on in Portland. So for me, if I saw an upset, I think Portland could upset. I'm not saying I would pick them, but could they put an upset? Yes. I don't think Golden State has a chance against Phoenix or Utah.
I personally think that if you had to ask me, in the East, I really love Washington. I love what Washington's doing. They finally figured it out. Like, they finally figured it out. And I think that's going to be very scary, not only in the playoffs, but even going into next season. That's a scary team with Bill and Westbrook playing off of each other. Hands down. I think they will win the play-in game, but that first round, if they're going to beat Brooklyn, one of their big three got to be out, because I cannot see. They're not beating Brooklyn with Slim Reaper. If Slim Reaper's back, oh no, nah, bro.
Yeah. They recently got their 7-game winning streak snapped yesterday against a high-scoring game against San Antonio, and that was their first time they had a winning streak that long since Jordan was with the Wizards.
Yeah,
so that's
including the last 10 games. They've been balling.
Yeah.
One thing I do want to say about Portland, though, like the on paper they look really nice, like really, really good. But in the last 6 games, they've struggled. They've been inconsistent. They've been as inconsistent as the Boston Celtics right now. And in their last 6 games, I think they've been 1-5. Their last win was, I think, last night against Indiana. I think, yeah, it was against Indiana. But they haven't been playing the way they started the season. So that's one thing I would worry about with Portland. But on paper, they look really nice, though.
I don't think Utah. So in the West, right now, Utah's the 1 seed, right?
Mm-hmm.
If Utah remains the 1 seed, I don't think they want that Golden State smoke at all.
Wow.
I don't think. I think Golden State could knock them dudes off.
Absolutely.
Spider, I personally think that Steph Curry will figure out a way to win 4 games. He's going to figure it out.
Dude,
Spider ain't about that life.
29 points.
Bro.
Tonight's game. They're too reliant on Steph Curry.
They are. I do agree. They are super duper reliant on Steph Curry. However, in the playoffs, do you trust Spider or do you trust Steph?
I get what you're saying, but Utah is a different animal. They're a team. They play team basketball. Spider can take over, but for the most part, they're gonna make the right play. They're gonna make the right pass. You got an anchor down low in Rudy Gobert, who I'm not high on. I do think he's great defensively, but offensively he's very limited. But nonetheless, I just think defensively there'll be too much for Golden State.
Okay. I'm just very, very big on Golden State. I think very highly of them. As right now they're sitting at the 10. Very easily could be a 8 or 9, depending on how things flow in Memphis and San Antonio. And they're scary. They are very scary because, like I said, if Steph gets off, and we all know Draymond Green is good for one good playoff game per series, could be trouble. All right, so let's get into our last topic of the evening. If the Phoenix Suns, who are only one game back, get the 1 seed, should there be more consideration for CP3 winning the MVP?
I wanted to ask you this. What do you mean more consideration? Describe that, because he's getting consideration, but what do you mean more consideration?
So right now it's Embiid and Jokic
and Steph,
for the most part, and Steph. But usually it goes to the guy that's on the team, the best player on the team who has the 1 seed, or usually the team that has the best record, usually, give or take, right? CP3 came to a Phoenix team that did not make the playoffs last year.
Thanks.
And now they're a playoff team. They're not just a playoff
seed. Yep.
They make it the 1 seed. And he changed that team around. Last year. Wait.
Nope.
Wait. Wait.
Go ahead.
Last year.
Facebook, come on in now because it's about to get real in here. Go ahead.
Last year, what he did for Oklahoma City was impressive. And now Oklahoma City is a lottery team. I just think that we gotta give CP3 more credit. If we're gonna look at Embiid and say, "Oh, Embiid, it's okay that you miss games, and you're an MVP candidate," you're crazy. Steph, you missed some games, and you're an MVP candidate.
Facts,
right? Jokic, I give him props. But he ain't play on. He don't play defense. Which, I mean, everyone's gonna be like, "Oh man, it's not a defensive.
Don't do that.
It's not a defensive award." But CP3 makes his teams better, and I'm sorry, it's time. It's time. Like, I thought about this long and hard, and I made this the last topic for a reason because I'm gonna shock some people. If Phoenix wins the 1 seed, CP3 for MVP. CP3 for MVP. Straight up. And if we don't do it, we're wrong.
No, you're not wrong.
Travesty.
That's a preference.
That's a preference.
That's a preference.
So you better be happy we got like over 20 years of friendship.
I don't care what kind of friendship we got. Okay, so all the sports fans out there, who should win Coach of the Year is Monty Williams. No doubt about it. I mean, I get the Tom Thibodeau stuff. No doubt about it. That's a great choice as well. But what Monty Williams is doing is impressive. Now, going back to what Jasper said, the Suns are a very young team. Did Chris Paul come in there and definitely elevate them? Yes. No doubt. I have no argument for that. But we're not going to act like the Phoenix Suns didn't go 10-0 in the bubble last year without Chris Paul. So they were elevated regardless. They were coming up. Hold on. Let me finish. They were a team on the rise regardless. 10-0 in the bubble. In the bubble, they were 10-0. You can't dispute that. You cannot dispute that, Jasper. They went undefeated in the bubble. Now, Chris Paul has elevated that team. He deserves some consideration. for MVP. I have no problem with Chris Paul getting, but to win the MVP, no, I don't think he should win the MVP. Do you think Chris Paul is the best player on that team in Phoenix?
Nah.
Okay. So
He's a difference maker, though.
I'm not saying he's not a big difference maker. I'm not disputing that.
You can't do. They go 10-0 in the bubble. I get it. Okay. Can we pull up those last 10 teams that they played?
They had to win the games. You can sit here and say whatever you want. They had to win the games, though. They were the hottest team in the bubble, and they did what they had to do.
But they had a month and a half off to rest. Well, go ahead.
They didn't get in. And Chris Paul came in to a young team that had a lot of upside, great coaching. I was mad that the Pelicans let Monty Williams go. So, I mean, to me, he builds a team up like a coach is supposed to. He elevates them, I should say. Now, Chris Paul getting thrown into the mix, a leader, no doubt about it. DeAndre Ayton, another year within the system, he's been better this year. Devin Booker is a superstar. We're not going to act like he's not a superstar. My thing is, when you sit there and say he should clearly win MVP, let me ask you this, Jasper. Coming off of 10-0 and then you add Chris Paul to the team. Okay, yeah, getting the number 1 seed is quite impressive. I'm not going to sit there and hold you. But let's not act like LeBron James wasn't hurt all year. I'm not all year. Him or Anthony Davis was pretty much out for majority of this year. So when you say the number 1 seed, how much does that really hold weight? If LeBron and AD are healthy throughout the season, throughout the year, are they still getting the number 1 seed then?
Probably not.
Okay, so we're not going to act like I'm still saying it's incredible what's going on. But okay, let's move to the East. What about Julius Randle? Now that's somebody to me that deserves some more consideration for MVP. Tom Thibodeau's doing a great job. But
most improved player, I agree.
Julius Randle has truly elevated the Knicks.
Most improved player, I agree. MVP?
No, I'm not saying. You said consideration. I'm not voting for him. I'm not voting for him for MVP. But consideration, I don't hear nobody mentioning Julius Randle for MVP.
True.
I'm saying he at least deserves some consideration. The Knicks are fourth in the East. I mean, they're literally 3 games back of Milwaukee. The New York Knicks. The Knicks, the team that Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving turned down because low-key it was like a joke to go to New York and play for the Knicks. They'll go to Brooklyn instead and play over there. I just think with Tom Thibodeau, Julius Randle and company, that's some young boys he got over there. And R.J. Barrett, quickly. Of course, they got a Derrick Rose that everybody said was finished. Julius Randle's playing some outstanding basketball. If you want to say give some consideration, I'm giving it to Julius Randle. Now, going back to it, I would not pick CP3 to win MVP. It's no knock to him. But what Steph Curry's doing right now, man, it's crazy. It's crazy.
You give it to Steph?
Listen to what I'm saying. Steph Curry and the Golden State Warriors are 7-3 in the last 10 games. Now, granted, they're going to lose tonight. There's no doubt about it. They're getting blown out. They're going to lose. But like I just told you, it's Steph Curry. He's literally back at Davidson. He's back at Davidson right now. And it's him. It's him. If he can get his team into the playoffs, that is crazy to me. That is wild. I like Steph right now. I get the Joel Embiid argument that you and Justin made. I'm not gonna lie. That was a great argument earlier when you guys said he hasn't even played most of the games. Yes, he did. So right now, the 76ers with Joel Embiid are 31-11, 20 games above 500. Without Joel Embiid, they're a below 500 team. Joel Embiid averages basically 30-11. We're not going to sit here and act like Joel Embiid, what he's doing in Philadelphia is not remarkable. Yeah, he missed 19 games. I get that argument. His knee, unfortunately, got banged up, nothing crazy where he missed the year, but he missed 19 games. In those 19 games, they're under 500. Joel Embiid has been balling this year. I have no issue with him winning it. I have no issue with Steph Curry if he gets his team, especially into the playoffs as a 7 seed. He definitely wins it, or Jokic. But Chris Paul, man, I just can't go off on that one with you.
Okay.
Keel?
I'm not giving Chris Paul no consideration at all,
Wow.
even if they win, get the number one seed. Man, are you kidding me? Zero. He gets nothing from me. Let's not. And I like what you mentioned about what the Suns did in the bubble. I mean, Chris Paul wasn't there last year. And this year, you look at how this team's been playing. Not just Chris Paul, but you got Devin Booker, you got DeAndre Ayton. Looking like a much improved center in the league this year, and then Miles Bridges or Mikal Bridges. Um, is a decent player also. All those guys are averaging in double figures, including Chris Paul. But let's not act like Chris Paul has been solely responsible for this team. If there's no Chris Paul on this Phoenix Suns team, I think the Suns still make it to the playoffs.
I agree.
If there's no Steph Curry on the Golden State Warriors, he's out for injury. They wouldn't be in contention to go in the playoffs, man. And what Steph Curry's been doing right now, and I'll just leave it at that.
You done lost your damn mind.
Hey, that was a great argument, Keel.
That's a good point that without Steph, you're a lottery team.
Phoenix is making the playoffs without Chris Paul this season. Facts. I don't care what I'm not saying they're gonna be one, but they're making the playoffs.
Yeah, they'll probably be in that 7 and 10.
Hey, maybe so. But at the end of the day, I think they'll be higher than that, but that's my opinion. But at the end of the day, like, bro, no Steph Curry on the Golden State, bro, that would be the number one pick locked. And they just had the number one pick this past season. Dude, I just gave you the numbers with Embiid. Without Embiid, they're a below 500 team. Now we can go to Julius Randle. No Julius Randle on the New York Knicks. Oh, my God.
But my thing is this. Okay, my thing is this. So the MVP's based on, without this player, we're not a playoff team.
Listen, I agree with you as far as
I'm giving the whole body of work.
Yeah, he averages 16 points and eight assists.
But it's just the impact. Just the impact that Steph Curry has on a team compared to the impact Chris Paul has on a team.
So right now, if you had to cast your vote for MVP, who are you choosing?
I'm taking Steph Curry, man. You kidding me?
Hey,
come on, man. Averaging over 30 the last 10 to 15 games.
I'm going to be real with you. I know I'm not going to say not the popular pick. I get the argument that he's missed a lot of games. I told you last week, Joel Embiid. But Steph Curry's right there. Steph Curry, to me, just being a 10 seed right now, that's remarkable. They're going to be 500 after tonight. He has 31 wins. But for whatever reason, if they was to slip out of that 10 seed and the Pelicans, because the Pelicans, I think, are on a 2-game winning streak, if the Pelicans rose and got that 10 seed, you can't win the MVP. You don't make the playoffs. I don't care what your numbers are. You don't make the playoffs, you should not be the MVP. For me, Joel Embiid, man, under 500, without him, with them, they're 20 games above 500. And his numbers are there. The numbers, the impact, both there for me. I'm going Joel Embiid.
Y'all wildin'.
So you got Chris Paul.
Bruh, if I had to vote right now, if I had a say in it, I would go Chris Paul.
Why not Donovan Mitchell then? According to your stats, why not Donovan Mitchell?
The question was if they win the first seed.
Well, what if Donovan Mitchell is the first seed?
You would get strong consideration.
I'm just throwing things out there.
And then you just got to ask yourself, like, Phoenix went, again, from a non-playoff team to being a playoff team.
Yeah, but that man, they were right there. They were right there on the cusp of making the playoffs, man.
That's true.
They got beat out by one game from Memphis last season in the bubble. Man, I just don't. I like what the Phoenix Suns did in the bubble, and that's why I'm kind of holding that. And Chris Paul's numbers are just not there for me as far as MVP. Yes, he's truly elevated him to the next level. I agree with you there, but it's like when Klay comes back. I think that the Golden State Warriors are going to be elevated because should Klay win the MVP over Steph? Hell nah.
Dog, I ain't gonna lie, man. I feel bad for everybody in the Western Conference when Klay come back, because Klay gonna kill, man. But hey, with that being said, man, that concludes all our topics for the night. Let's go ahead and get to our shout outs.
I'll go first, Keel. I'll go first. I'll let
go ahead.
Go. Shout out to both of y'all, man. Shout out to Jasper for having me on. Shout out to Justin. You know, definitely appreciate you, brother, for letting me come on. I destroyed your partner in crime tonight. He embarrassed himself. We're gonna drug test him after this show. Keel, get everybody at NBS Central to drug test this man. We're gonna fly out, or you're gonna fly in somewhere to NBS Studios, and we're gonna get you drug tested. Open your eyes. Open your eyes. Let me see what's going on. But
Hey, boy, dumb, man. Dude said, open your eyes.
We appreciate each and every one of y'all for tuning in. We got some great things lined up for y'all, man. Great things. This show was a little longer than I expected, but nonetheless, it was fun, guys. So thank y'all. And until tomorrow night, let's talk about the #1 show on the brand. Make sure y'all be ready for it. Me, my dog, Keel. And then, of course, and shout out to my girl, Saray. But, of course, this week, the NFL Draft Special, hosted by yours truly. Jasper got to come see me. He got to come see me. With that being said, thank y'all.
Yo, shout out to Jay Franchise for having me come on the show also, and shout out to Justin wherever you're at. Shout out to everybody that tune in and supports the show. Make sure you follow us on all social media platforms. And this week, man, it's gonna be a busy week for us. We got NBS. Let's talk about it tomorrow. We're gonna be talking about the Mortal Kombat movie. I can't wait. And then Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Thursday, Friday, and Saturday is the NFL Draft Special. We do this every single year. Second year, we're going to be live on YouTube and Facebook. So we're going to give you guys reactions. We got special guesses. So maybe we'll have some old special guests to come on and give their thoughts about the draft, and maybe some surprise reactions like last year when Mike was all surprised about the Raiders drafting Henry Ruggs. So I can't wait, and we're looking forward to cover the draft special with you guys. Besides that, we'll see you guys tomorrow.
Man, shout out to True Action Sports Junkie and Keel, the certified hater, for coming on tonight. The two, I call them the outsiders. I'm gonna start calling y'all the outsiders. Shout out to Justin again. It would have been great to have my guy on, but it's all good. We rocked it for you, so it was greatly appreciated. Shout out to my dude Marlon, Yvonne, Big Mike, Big Ray. Everybody that's on the NBS Central, Mr. Ray. Real talk, man. Hey, we doing a lot of great things, a lot of great shows. Shout out to all our first responders out there. All of our, all our military members. Stay safe. I just want to say, hey, listen, in life, right? Positivity breeds greatness. And every step you take has to be in a positive direction. Now, there's going to be times when it's going to be hard. You have to take 2 steps back. But just remember, if you take 2 steps back, you got to make sure you double that and get 4 steps forward. So, with that being said, take that positive step forward. And lastly, when you get to your destination, your greatness or your goal, don't forget to pay it forward. Don't ever forget to pay it forward, because that's what matters in life. Not the destination, but paying it forward. That helps. All right. That being said, hey guys, it's been a great show. Much appreciated to you guys. Many blessings. Hey, I'm gonna see y'all on the draft special at some point. We're gonna have some fun that night. But with that being said, for the two outsiders, I'm Jay Franchise signing off. Be easy. Peace.